The following is paid for by Advanced Physical Medicine of Miami.
The information presented in this program is for educational purposes only. It is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any condition, illness, or disease. The depiction of successful results from the treatments discussed in this presentation are examples of the possible benefits and do not guarantee results. The decision to start any medical treatment should be made only after discussing all benefits and risks with a healthcare provider.
Welcome to Healthy Dose with Dr. Joe. Are you ready to repair damage to your body? Replace what is depleting to regain your youthful vitality? Regenerate what is now degenerating? Dr. Joseph Gambardella is a doctor of chiropractic medicine and an anti-aging health practitioner diplomat. He was the first doctor in Miami to complete his fellowship training in stem cell therapies. As the owner of Advanced Physical Medicine and Rehab of Miami, he provides patients with the most sophisticated and safest treatments in the market today. Join Dr. Joe for the next half hour and learn about the medical advancements that have helped thousands avoid surgery and pain meds. From stem cells to hormones and everything in between. Get ready to feel empowered. Get ready to regain control and reclaim your life. Now, here's your Healthy Dose with Dr. Joe.
Welcome to Healthy Dose Radio. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Gambardella, as always. And I'm here with Rob Sapera, our office manager, Dr. Gail Behar, and we have a very special guest with us today. His name is Barry Chenman, and he is with Steiner, Green, and Finer. How you doing, Barry?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for having me on the show today.
Yeah, we're really happy to have you. There's, we're in the Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. Now, we've spoken on previous shows about recovery from injuries, different ways to get the body to heal itself naturally without drugs, without surgery. But oftentimes there are injuries that supersede that. Specifically today we're going to speak about personal injury and automobile accidents. And Barry, you are the expert. A couple of things I want to start out with Barry. You work with a very prestigious firm, Steiner, Green, and Finer. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about how people can find out about you, your website, and your phone number?
Well, that's it. Steiner, Green, and Finer. You can find us on Google. We advertise a lot. My phone number, the main phone number, 954-491-7701. If you want to talk to me, ask for Barry. If you want to sign up a case, see if you have a case, just call the number. That's why we're there. You can find everything out. Look on Google. Look on our website, Steiner, Green, and Finer. All
right, Barry. Great. So let's take it from the top. So what should someone do as soon as they're involved in an automobile accident? I know it's a very traumatic time for people. They're very concerned about their car, about how they're going to be transported or moved from the scene. But let's start at square one. Someone's involved in an accident. Who do they call? What do they do?
Who do they call? What do they do? Great question. Before I say that, I want everybody to really think about this because I just settled a big case, $250,000. And I'll tell you what, I did the closing yesterday. And my client looked me in the eyes and he said, I was in a small car accident about 5 years ago. And I remember I'm an attorney, and he told me all these things I need to do if I was ever in a crash again. And he said, I did it. I knew exactly what to do. And because he did that the right way, he got the best medical treatment, and I was able to settle his case without going to trial for the full policy of $250,000. So that is why listening to the answer to this is very, very important. So you're in a crash. What do? Call the police, no matter what. If somebody says, no, I don't want to get them involved, or you think it's small, or you don't know what's going on, let the police come. They need to make a report. That report is evidence. 2, take pictures. Pictures to the damage to your car, the damage to the other car. Those pictures come in handy in the future. Number 3, always seek medical treatment. People think, the emergency room is too expensive. I don't know if I want to go out of my way and do that. Try to see a doctor within 24 hours. If not the emergency room, that's fine. You can go to an urgent care, or you can go to your local doctor's office, and they can go see Dr. Joe. They can come to your facility. But make sure you get there so you can document, I was in a car crash, and I'm not feeling normal. I just want to check out if I'm okay, if there's anything serious, and document that there is an injury.
That is.
And let me add one more thing real quick.
Go ahead, Bear.
Get the insurance information. Find out the insurance company of the other person, and contact your insurance company. A lot of people want to stay under the radar. They don't want to let them know. The fact that you were in an accident, your insurance company is going to know that. Give them a call. Let them know, hey, this wasn't my fault. I just want to report this. I want to generate a claim number. That claim number is important.
Exactly. So, Barry, you mentioned something about at least get yourself checked. within 24 hours after the accident. I could tell you from personal experience, being in practice for 21 years, I've had patients that come in that have really bad degenerative problems in their neck and in their lower back, and I'll ask them, hey, how did this happen? And they say, I don't know. I was working out. It happened one day to the next. We started asking them about a case history, and they told me I was really involved in a bad rear ender about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but I never got treatment for it. So it's really, really important, just to harp on what you said, to make sure you get checked. Whether or not you have a lot of pain or whether or not you have minimal pain, you have to document that there is an injury, because the pain that you may experience from these accidents may not show up for months, weeks, or even years later. There's a time frame that people have to get checked and evaluated after an accident. Barry, can you tell us what that time limit is?
The 14 days. Okay, what that means is Florida law, they have something called PIP through auto insurance. Okay, every state's a little different. But in Florida, some people can get hit by somebody else, and that other person doesn't have any insurance coverage to cover someone's injury. So Florida created PIP. One of the policy reasons is it's a pool of money managed by your own insurance company that is only for medical treatment. So if you get hit by someone that has no money, can't recover, at least there's a pool of money that your insurance provides you so you can get the medical treatment you need. However, there's always checks and balances to make sure it's legitimate and that the money is used for medical treatment for an injury that was caused by the crash. You have to seek treatment within 14 days. So that's why it's important. One of the many reasons why it's important to try to go as soon as possible, see a medical provider, just document, hey, was in a crash, check me out.
Barry, you've been doing this for a long time. Are there any exceptions to that 14-day rule?
Off the top of my head, no exceptions right now. But every case is specific. It depends on your terms of insurance policy, everything that's going on. That's another reason why it's important to contact an attorney. Because that's what we do. We look through your entire insurance policy, the other person's insurance policy, the facts of the case, and we try to find coverage and get you as many benefits as possible.
Exactly. And I could tell you, from being in practice, there are no exceptions. People come in on that 15th day, and there's no medical coverage available underneath their policy. So the sooner they act, the sooner they're going to start feeling better. And it's really better to focus on their care and on their wellness, well-being, and turn the case over to somebody like you. What I wanted to ask you also, Barry, is, you mentioned PIP. There's a lot of different forms of insurance that people try to save as much money as possible when they're renewing their policies. Do you have any recommendations that our listeners would benefit from when they're renewing policies? Should they consider uninsured motorist bodily injury? Can you tell us a little bit about your recommendations on that?
Got it. That's a good question, too, because a lot of people go through the insurance. They don't really know what they're doing. They're just getting the basic coverages that are in front of them on the form and trying to keep their rates low. The one thing that insurance companies don't really tell you is what kind of protections are there. So if you're listening out there right now, think about uninsured motorist protection, okay? That is a type of insurance coverage you get on your policy that protects you in case the other person doesn't have insurance to pay for your injuries. So to kind of put it in perspective, what I tell a lot of clients when they're kind of not familiar with all this, yes, you can have insurance. Let's say you have Geico or something. But there's different types of coverages within your Geico insurance, okay? You can have property damage coverage to cover damage to your car or cover damage to someone else's car if you cause that damage, okay? You can get bodily injury coverage. So if you cause injury to someone else, the crash was your fault, and you have bodily injury coverage, they go after your insurance, okay? They don't have to go after you. You can also choose to get uninsured motorist coverage, UM. That's very important. Let's say somebody hits you that doesn't have any insurance or doesn't have any money to pay you for your injuries. Well, if you don't have uninsured motorist coverage, there's no money to recover from anywhere. But if you do have uninsured motorist, that's basically telling your insurance company, hey, thank God I purchased this. The person that hit me has no coverage at all, no money, and I'm coming to you to collect on my policy. You're basically paying a little bit extra every month to have a pool of money that pays out to you if you get injured in a crash by someone that doesn't have any coverage.
So what you're really paying for is peace of mind. You're not saving anything by eliminating or neglecting to secure these additional coverages once you renew the policy.
That's it. And the best way to describe this is through example. I mean, I have uninsured motorist coverage. I know one of my colleagues here, a ton of clients all the time, but one of my colleagues has $100,000 in uninsured motorist coverage, because they want to have peace of mind knowing that if anyone ever hits them, they get injured, there's up to $100,000 through their own insurance that's going to pay out to them if they get hurt. And they did. They got hit by somebody that had a lapsed insurance policy. Okay, they had absolutely no money to their name, no way to pay their medical bills, their pain and suffering, their future medical costs. So what they did is they were able to keep treating and submitted a claim to their own insurance for their underinsured motorist claim, and it paid them out the full $100,000. Took care of all their medical bills and paid them extra for pain, suffering, and needed future medical care. And if they didn't have uninsured motorist coverage on their policy, they never would have had that opportunity.
You know what I could tell you also, Barry, is we've had patients that, they come in, they get treatment, they've either seen the wrong attorney or haven't seen an attorney, and they didn't even realize that they had these coverages and these options available to them. So they complete their treatment, and a year later, 2 years later, once the case has been closed, it's closed. You can't reopen that. So it's always important to contact the right attorney. Barry, you're with Steiner, Green & Feiner. How do they find you again?
You can find us, you can call our main number, 954-491-7701, or you can Google us. You can go on our website. We're all over the place. We make it easy.
So you're hands down the best law firm to contact once you've been in a car accident. We've been working together for a while. I could tell you some of the key questions that I get from patients when we recommend that they see an attorney is that, well, I'm really concerned that my rates are going to go up if I file a claim or if I use my medical benefits. If someone is not at fault, will their rates go up if they use their policy?
That's a really tricky question to answer. I like to say it like this. Whether you use your policy or not, that's not going to affect your rates. The fact that you were in a crash, that's it. Whether you make a claim or use your benefits or not, your insurance company knows that you were in a crash, and when the year is done, they're going to calculate and redo the rates accordingly. It always makes sense to use your insurance coverage that you have because you're paying a little bit of money for it and you're getting a ton of benefit. That's why you have insurance. In case something happens, you're paying a little bit of money. In case something happens, then you have a ton of money in benefits to pay off your medical and pay you. So it wouldn't make sense not to pay it, especially if your rates are going to change anyway, and only a nominal amount, a small amount compared to the benefits that you would actually take in. So it always makes sense to use your insurance benefits. And I'd like to say one more thing, Joe. I appreciate you saying we are the best. And I just want to say this to everyone out there. I take a lot of pride in where I work. I love working for this law firm. I love working for this company, Steiner, Green & Feiner. I've been here since I was a law clerk. I've been here over 5 years, and I've never worked anywhere else. And the reason I can say that is because this is a law firm that knows what they're doing. They have a great culture of people in here. We're a big firm, and we're a big firm for a reason. We have multiple offices all throughout Florida, and that's because we do things the right way. Our reputation, success after success, happy client after happy client, that just allows us to grow. And it allows me to love what I'm doing, to learn from the best, to do it the right way, to continue giving those benefits to people that seek our services. And when they're continuously happy, continuously getting the right medical treatment and the right results on our case, they spread the word. And it's a beautiful thing.
That's why we're so happy to know you, Barry, and be able to work together with you. We're going to speak about the right type of medical treatment to receive after you've been in a automobile accident, and we're going to do that right after this break.
Repair your body. Replace your key hormone levels. Allow your body to regenerate itself without surgery or meds. When it comes to your health, the best plan is preventative. If you wait for symptoms to show, you could be too late. With over 40 years combined clinical experience, all under one conveniently located state-of-the-art facility, Dr. Joe is on the leading edge of regenerative and physical medicine. Take control of your health and get a free consultation and evaluation. Visit us at apmrmiami.com or call 305-598-8788. 305-598-8788.
And we're back. This is Dr. Joe Gambardella with Advanced Physical Medicine and Rehab of Miami. You can follow us on Instagram at 8PMRMiami, and also check us out on our website, 8PMRmiami.com. Our office phone number is 305-598-8788. We have a practice that is dedicated to our patients that have been involved in automobile accidents. It's vital that you see the right doctor that's dedicated to your recovery when you've been involved in such a traumatic incident. So let's talk about a little bit about our office, Barry. Advanced Physical Medicine and Rehab is a physical medicine practice. So we are a combination of physicians, medical doctors, physician assistants, physical therapists, chiropractors, and pain management, all located in one facility. So we're at 7170 Southwest 117th Avenue, Miami, Florida, but we service all of Miami-Dade and Fort Lauderdale. I can tell you that for the patients that come in to see us once they've been involved in an accident, they're tricky cases because oftentimes the symptoms don't fully develop for sometimes days or even weeks after the accident, and it really dictates if they've had a muscle strain. It's dictated by if they've had a muscle strain or even at times herniated discs, broken bones, torn ligaments, or even damaged muscles. I could tell you kind of our flow and how we interact and treat these patients is that, first of all, we care for every single patient as an individual. We're not a mill. We don't process every patient the same way. Every one of our patients will see our medical staff. They'll interact with our physical therapists, and they will see our chiropractors for an evaluation and do full comprehensive evaluations on site, including x-rays, which are really, really important in documenting the severity of the case. But also it allows the patient to know what are they looking at in terms of recovery. I could tell you that patients that come in that are involved in car accidents have varying degrees of pain. Just because you have little to minimal pain in the beginning does not mean that you were not injured. You really need to go through your therapy to make sure that your body is able to fully recover. Barry, you could probably touch on that, that you've had clients over the years that started out with almost no pain, but wound up having surgical procedures for herniated discs, pain management procedures, some of your bigger cases. Why don't you touch on that for a minute?
Yeah, that's a good point, Joe. That happens all the time. What this is, just to start out, a case is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to really get that medical treatment that you talked about, that you need not only to get you out of pain, but to make sure you prevent a long-term problem, a long-term injury, okay? There's two types of people that come in. Some people are in immediate excruciating pain that links up with the injury they have from the crash. But sometimes, maybe you have a younger, stronger person, and they say, hey, I'm a little sore, I feel these symptoms, but I can deal with it, it's fine. I don't really know if I should be going to the doctor this much. Let me tell you why it's important. If you can deal with it now, that's fine. But what the big benefit is, you are getting the right medical treatment to help your injury heal. And it's important to have your injury heal and not sit without doing anything because it prevents a long-term problem. Maybe now you can handle what's going on. Maybe you have a herniated disc or strain or torn muscle or ligament, and you can deal with it. But if you're not getting the right rehabilitation or the right medical treatment, that injury is going to continue to sit and get worse and worse. Maybe 10 years down the line, maybe a little longer. That's when you're going to start feeling those symptoms, and you're going to wish you had done something about it. So if you can really understand that concept, take advantage of these opportunities. Get the right medical care and make sure this isn't going to become a long-term lingering problem for you in the future.
Yeah, well, I want to touch on that, Barry. You mentioned, I only have a bulging disc or some of these minimizing statements that our patients will make. Bulging discs are just early stage herniations. And even if the injury per se did not progress over time, the body is going to gradually degenerate because of aging. So our hormones are going to decline. Our bodies are going to be less able to recover and repair themselves as these hormones decrease in our body. Just the aging process. If the injury stayed the same but the body ages, the symptoms are going to seem to get greater and greater over time. There's two types of degeneration that we've always spoken to our patients about, and that's degeneration that affects bones and degeneration that affects soft tissue. So there's no such thing as just a minor soft tissue injury. It depends on where that injury has occurred. A disc is a soft tissue. When soft tissues degenerate, they decrease in size or disappear. So if you have a cushion that's meant to provide flexibility, stability, and give you support, and that is decreasing or diminishing over time, you're going to have loss of performance and pain in the future. If you have injury to the hard tissue or to the bone, when that tissue degenerates, it actually grows in size. If you have bones growing together into a joint space, that's the definition of arthritis. So pain, arthritic conditions, stiffness, these are all things that can be caused by a trauma that's sudden that you may not pay attention to because you're so worried about fixing your car or getting back to work. So that's why I'm so glad you're here talking to us today about these types of conditions, Barry.
That's what it's all about, Joe. It's about fixing everything together, which is another reason, why I suggest always getting an attorney, because that's what I do. That's what we do. We help you with your property damage. We help you talk to the insurance adjusters. We help you when people are coming at you with a million forms to sign or want information from you, or doctors are telling you to do this. We are your counselors. We take care of all the BS so you don't have to deal with it, and you can just focus on your medical treatment and getting your body back to normal. And
that's really the synergistic approach that we take. You handle all the legal aspects, we handle the medical aspects in terms of getting the patients well. Just like, patients are not going to get better by using ice or resting at home if they have a severe injury, they need treatment. They're not going to be able to get what they're entitled to or what they really need by speaking to the insurance company themselves. This is kind of another little pet peeve that I have, is that, I'll get patients that think they're attorneys and they think, you know what, I'm going to speak to the insurance company myself. The insurance company called me within 2 weeks of the injury. I wasn't at fault. My car was totaled. I have a broken arm, and they're offering me X amount of dollars to settle this case. It sounds like a good settlement. I'm just going to sign here. Why do I need to get an attorney involved? And this is really something for you, because it's a pet peeve of mine. I can't imagine that it isn't for you.
Here's why you need to get an attorney involved, because any offer that an insurance company makes you within the first 2 to 4 weeks, trying to settle yourself without an attorney, you are just entitled to so much more. You could absolutely be getting so much more. And what do I mean so much more? It's not just so much more money in your pocket, but it's so much more opportunity to help your body heal, to help your injuries heal. This is what insurance companies do. They contact you right away. They send people out. They dangle money in front of your face and say, hey, you can settle it now. No attorney's fees. Take this. They want you to take it because that is the smallest amount that they could possibly offer. In most situations, there's always so much more that they have and that you are likely entitled to. You just have to prove it with medical treatment and keeping a case open over time. So they know that right in the first, within the first month, your case has very little value. And a lot of people take it, but they take it without getting the medical treatment they need. So they'll take that settlement and the case is done. They don't consult an attorney. Then they realize, man, why is my pain still lingering? Why is it getting worse? Well, you had a serious injury. You didn't know that because you didn't get the right medical treatment. You didn't treat long enough. You didn't establish what your pain and suffering actually was. You didn't see an expert to establish, what your future medical care and needs will be over time. That's all evidence in a claim that you're entitled to. And without keeping the case open and continuing to treat with your doctor, you're never going to be able to prove that. And that's what I do as an attorney. And that's why the insurance company is going to be giving you so much less. When you have an attorney, let us handle that. Keep the case open. There's no rush, okay? Wait until you see all your doctors. Wait until you're feeling good. Wait until you get the appropriate x-rays or MRI scans to see, is there any serious injuries from this crash that you might be overlooking? If there is, then you get to a specialist to get a treatment game plan on how these injuries can heal, okay? And then when the specialist and the doctors write their reports, I'm able to convey that to the insurance company, to convey, hey, they've been pain and suffering for months. They needed to do this kind of treatment to heal. They're going to need this medical care in the future. And you better believe you're going to be entitled to a lot more money than they're offering you within the first couple weeks.
You only get one chance to make the right decision. I do want to bring in for a moment Dr. Gail Behar. Love Dr. Gail. She's a huge part of our office, and she's here because she's dedicated her practice in part to the Spanish-speaking community. So she is able to service all of our patients, including the ones that speak Spanish, making them feel right at home. How you doing, Dr. Gail?
Hi, how are you? Good afternoon. So I just wanted to say, hi. I just wanted to say that I have a special training in personal injury. I'm fully trained in treating all these cases. So when the patients come to our office, I make sure that the patient understands the treatment, understands the process, so they can fully recover. So it's easier to explain these patients in their own language, in the medical terminology that they understand, to make everything easier and the process more comfortable. And I understand that it's very difficult when they go through this. So making it in their own language and Spanish. Yo hablo español perfecto. I was born in Cuba, so it's easier for me to treat with the Spanish community.
Very, very important in the recovery is making the patient feel comfortable. That's the first part of healing. And so I think as a team, Advanced Physical Medicine and Rehab, Steiner, Green, and Feiner, we are the people that you're going to look for as soon as you've been involved in a motor vehicle accident to help you get back on your feet. Barry, you're amazing. You're a Jersey boy like myself. Another reason that I love you so much. Tell us one more time, Steiner, Green, and Feiner, the best way to get in touch with you, your website and your phone number.
Website and our phone number, Steiner, Green, and Feiner. Type it right into Google or just call us up, 954-491-7701. you can always ask for Barry as soon as you call up, and I'll talk to you directly.
Perfect. So key takeaways from today's show. Number one, God forbid you're involved in a motor vehicle accident. Number one, first thing you're going to do, stay on scene, call the police. Number two, we are going to take pictures. Number three, you're going to get the insurance information. Number four, you're going to get yourself to a doctor. Advanced Physical Medicine and Rehab, we've dedicated our practice to helping auto accident victims. Our phone number is 305-598-8788. Number four, you're going to get yourself the best attorney down here in South Florida. That's Barry Chenman with Steiner, Green, and Feiner. Advanced Physical Medicine and Rehab is our practice. Come see us for bioidentical hormone balancing. If you've had those injuries where you're in chronic crushing pain because of shoulder pain, lower back pain, we are your facility of choice. Listen to our previous episodes at 8pmrmiami.com under radio shows. Remember, repair, replace, regenerate, and get healthy. We'll see you next time.